What's up, Eric Weathers?
What's up, Leroy?
You got some exciting stuff going on in here.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, you're set $68 from 96,000 in funding. You're closing in on 100K, man. Closing in.
Yeah, it's pretty close, isn't it?
Yeah, I remember talking to you about 3 or 4 months ago, and you were like, "Man, I don't know if I'll ever get to 100K." Like, how you feeling about it now?
I feel a little better about it, but
I mean, I know you don't want to count your chickens
yeah,
before they hatch, kind of
yeah,
thing. Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Don't want to
You
do
know,
that. We got
don't
what
want to
about?
do the don't want to do the victory dance in the end zone before.
No. Or
Yeah,
yeah, remember that old was it the Dallas Cowboys Buffalo Bills where the Dallas Cowboys were beating the shit out of Buffalo. But then that big fat lineman picked up a fumble and started running it all the way back and started celebrating, got stripped before he made the end zone.
yep.
So don't do that, Eric. Don't do that. That's a bad idea. Uh Jay Ryan's in the house and what about's in the house? What is going on? Uh you're also drawing. What do we see here, Eric?
Got a little downcast four for our boy Clint Stoker.
We
Um,
like Clint around here.
we do. Yeah, this one's been fun to work on. I get to draw uh, age-appropriate tentacle comics.
Is that possible?
Yeah, I'm doing it. I made it happen.
Yeah, you're drawing tentacles and Manger speed lines.
Yep.
So I find it like the reason why first of all, like I said, before the stream, I will have tomorrow off, and I'm kind of reminiscing. I told Eric before the stream started, my son had his final kind of variety show at school tonight. So like he's graduating next month, like in a matter of days now. So I'm kind of feeling old and reminiscing. So, but anyways, I was like, I'll just stream tonight. But the reason why I specifically wanted to talk to you is I've seen your layouts for Downcast 4 here, and then your layouts for Battle Brick Road are pretty good, really good for considering the amount of experience you have. I mean, that's you don't. What do you consider yourself, like a novice or you a journeyman as an artist right now, Eric? How would you
See,
consider yourself?
journeyman's probably a good way of putting it. There's definitely weak spots that I have
Hmm.
that I'm aware of, and a keen comic book aficionado would be able to see the same thing. Uh, but definitely not a novice. I mean, I've been through that stage. I'm
Well, you
past
got
all
a
that.
book out already too,
Yeah, I mean,
right?
I've got 9 issues under my belt. Plus, well, no, yeah, that was just Flying Fortress. That's 9 there, and then there's technically two chapters in Battlebrick Road, and uh, a handful of other side projects and things I've done over the years. So certainly not brand new here.
But there's a big step up from Flying Fortress to Battlebrick Road, like huge. It's
Hmm.
massive, massive, and a lot of that has to do, I think, with the layouts, and it's a continuing here, and I could even see you experimenting with layouts. And hold on, I want to get back to the chat because
Yeah,
that's what we do on this channel. Phil is in the house. Jim Cox is bringing up Jim Kelly, the quarterback from Buffalo, is from Western Pennsylvania. So there you go. Jim Hostetler went to West Virginia University and he actually won a Super Bowl. Hyper Potato saying, shipping party at Eric's house. Everyone is invited. Bring bubble wrap and pizza. I don't know why
and
you would
beer.
need. Why would you need bubble wrap, Eric?
Some people do bubble wrap in their Gemini mailer, um, so that might be why. I
Hmm.
we we don't have that, but in my experience, they ship pretty well. So
All right.
without it, but you never know. I mean, things happen.
Uh.
Damages are bound to happen in shipping, and we'll replace your book.
Well, luckily they don't have. I mean, for damages for me, like it would have been pretty. Like it would have been an interesting story because you gave me my book by
That's
hand.
true. That's
Yeah.
true. I could have thrown it at you.
You probably should. Past Master Dan's in the house. What is up? But I partied at the bar. Jim Kelly bought his childhood friend with a girl that went to school with him. So there you go. Hyper Potato is saying howdy all. Jeremy Burns is in the house. So the crew is all showing up. Eric. They're all
Good.
showing up. So let's get back to layouts real quick. So
Sure. Yeah.
y- there's a page, and I'm not going to give spoilers as far as plot, but I am going to talk about the book a little bit because I've been
Okay.
excited to talk about it.
I've been eager to hear people's responses, and so far I've just seen a couple of. Eddie Winkler DM'd me.
Oh, did
Uh,
he?
yeah, and
Nice.
everybody, and all this has DM'd me, and somebody else. You're the only one I know that's actually sat down and read it yet. So
I read it. I read it in
they're all
one
like, I
sitting.
got it. They're like, I got it. I can't wait to read it. But I haven't heard back. Oh, K Manifesto.
Oh
So
man, okay, yeah,
yeah. So I don't know other people. I mean, you gave me your critiques and your review and whatnot.
yeah.
So
I'm not going to do a real review because I put a lot behind the money behind the campaign, and I
mhm.
don't think I could be considered objective, Eric. You know what I mean?
Why do you say that? Because you put money behind the campaign?
I'm a big fan of yours. I would say. I think that's a
Hmm.
fair statement, right? Like,
I think
if
so. Yeah.
yeah. So like, it's like why I wouldn't do a review on Groken. You know what I mean? It's just you and Kenneth are probably the two people maybe I wouldn't do a review of. So, do you have battle? I don't know. Do you, Jim? How would Eric know?
I don't
I don't know
remember
if
seeing
you.
your name.
Okay,
So, but we're still in the early stages of fulfillment. So we're in the stage right now where the weird orders are going out first. The more complicated ones that are like people that ordered um, more add-ons and things that sort of take more time to get out because you're like you're hunting down like okay because in Indiegogo it's like the whole like spreadsheet gets really kind of it can be kind of confusing to look at at first and then we had to sort all those out and there's over 1,700 orders too.
sure,
So we get those more difficult ones out the door first and that way when it's down to like just the book or just the book and the supplemental, you don't have to double check what's going in the package. You just do like, oh, we need 150 of these. Okay, just do 150, and then we'll just slap on a bunch of labels, and they just all go out. So it's sort of revving up the engines at first, and then really hitting our stride. So we'll be hitting our stride probably next week,
sure.
hopefully. Yeah.
Zab's going to be helping you out, I assume. So,
Yeah, Zeb will be there here, and he was actually here today signing a few more books we got, and so gotta get those, gotta get those wrapped up and slap them on the bottom, put them in the mailbox for you guys.
to get to the back to the book. First of all, what I thought was really interesting, you were saying how you didn't ink the first chapter, then the second chapter you did ink, and actually, it's noticeable, Eric. Like as
Yeah,
just like a fan, like I'm not an artist or whatever, but the second chapter is a lot more. I want to say vibrant, but I don't think that's the word I'm looking for. But defined, maybe.
yeah, definitely defined. There's a certain um, solidness to the line art because it's pure black and white, whereas the penciled pages have a lot of value to them, a lot of different
And I
gradient.
thought that was interesting because the movie kind of does that.
Hmm. Yeah, it
You know
was
what I mean?
completely. Yeah, it was completely the reason why I wanted to do it. It was sort of a little nod or a tip of the hat to that idea
Right. And I
without
think,
without going straight up like, oh, the first chapter we're not going to color, and the second chapter we will. Haha, it's like,
yeah, that would be heavy-handed.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So yeah, first that was one of the things I noticed, and then like I feel like you're experimenting, straight up experimenting with layouts, and they're all good. I think your layouts are all good, right? But I could see the experiment like you're trying to find like what you're all about, and I really appreciate that because it makes everything so interesting to look at in the book. Because of
yeah.
that,
I I I don't like just sort of going the easy route. I'm like on this one, even earlier tonight. I'm going to do it once I get this third panel figured out. a little bit more solid is these three panels. I had separated them, and I was moving them around a little bit to kind of see how I can get a little bit more um, life out of it. So, like panel one might get double in size, and then these don't need to be as big down here, so I can
Right.
shrink those. And I'm going to mess around with it. So,
What's interesting here on this page is, and I don't, maybe you do this in Battlebrook Road, but I haven't seen, I didn't, I don't have the book memorized, obviously, but you're breaking the first panel right here,
hmm oh
which
yeah,
is great, but I don't, so like, you're still trying to find like what you're all about, panel laying out and all that. And I love that, man. Like, with you more than anybody else in Comicsgate, you're part of that journey of you finding out who you are as an artist, and I really appreciate that, man. Like,
thanks.
because you do improve so much. It's like if you put Battlebrook Road next to Flying Fortress, like I couldn't. It's insane. Like
Yeah, it's a
the
different.
improvement.
I'm a completely different artist.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. But you do have a page in there that just sticks out layout wise, because there's a page where it's in the second chapter and they're all diagonal panels.
Oh, yeah,
You know what I mean? So
yeah,
that is so much different than everything else in the book, that page kind of pops out. I thought that was interesting.
yeah. Well, without giving too much away, I think that's sort of a nod to her. She's realizing that at that moment that things are a little bit off kilter.
For sure, yeah.
So there is a visual representation of that. Like she's about to enter something she was not wouldn't have expected to see, and that was sort of like a way to represent that um, in a subtle way. I like being subtle in certain in a lot of different ways, especially with this story because it's a Wizard of Oz story. I don't just want it to be a goofy Wizard of Oz story. But a couple of did you notice the Easter egg on that page? Or Easter egg on that page?
Oh no. Well, I've only like read it once and then flipped
Yeah.
through it a few
So
times, but
if you
I got it in front of me though.
look at the characters that are chasing her in that next to last panel,
Mm-hmm.
you recognize them at all?
Mm,
There's three guys and a gal.
yeah, there's three guys in a gal, but they all have masks on. I don't understand what I'm supposed to
Look at what
be.
they're wearing. Look at what they're carrying. It, and then go pick up your copy of Flying Fortress and realize
Oh,
it's
he's got
Red,
the
Blossom,
bomber.
and
Okay, yeah,
yeah,
yeah. I got you now. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
It's the three main characters from Flying Fortress.
Got it. Got it. Yeah, you got
Yeah.
red. Yeah, yeah,
Huh?
yeah. I gotcha. Yep, I got it.
There you
Well, now we
go.
blew it for everybody in the chat.
Oh, that's all right. Now they're gonna look at it with waiting for it with anticipation. That's even better.
Also, when I got the book, and I don't like ultra glossy. That's not my thing, right?
Hmm?
And you did the kind of matte, but with the
The
spot
paper.
varnish. But even the
Uh huh.
spot varnish isn't ultra I really like it, dude.
Yeah, it's really subtle. But not too subtle that you don't notice it. But you kind of have to search for it. And the neat thing is the signatures also work with the spot gloss in a way that I wasn't expecting. They kind of it shines in the same light
Oh yeah, you're
because
right.
we're signing in gold. Gold. You got the yellow brick road. You got to use a gold sharpie. Um, so yeah, I mean, it's really neat to kind of be able to see that. And I think the pages, and maybe it was just because it's my book, but the paper itself felt really.
Oh no, it feels like a
It's
great
like a
book.
yeah, satin and kind of
I would
really
say
nice.
that
I
the
think.
only books that kind of feel like even that feel kind of similar are Nolan's.
Mm,
They kind of like, if you feel Alien Alamo in your hand, or the Canoe, it's kind of similar, that feel of the cover. So
yeah,
that's what I would say. But
yeah. It's a heavier stock cover. They had some trouble with that spot gloss or with the lamination adhering properly. It was peeling back, and so that we got it all sorted out. Thankfully, and they had to actually go with a thicker stock that had more. more of a matte finish, and the the end result is a soft touch that doesn't feel too much like rubber, which is nice.
No, it's really nice.
Yeah.
Do you think like they got it sorted out, and now you won't have to deal with all the like they're learning with you? I would assume so.
Yeah, so yeah, they jumped at the chance to do the book. I didn't know. I mean, I had seen other books in there I went into to their shop, and I see books on their shelf that they've done. I thought, okay, you can do this. I've seen binding on their website that they do perfect binding. I said, all right. So we, um, what I didn't realize is they're taking the the whole process way more, which is great. It's just slow, but they're taking it way more involved than maybe I thought or expected, and they're coming up on things that they had never up on. Like they're coming up with issues that they've never had issues with before.
Hmm.
And I just call it the Battlebrick Road curse because I've had all sorts of delays have happened so seemingly randomly with the campaign. You know, the first colorist left the book like before we were even done with the campaign,
That's right. Yeah,
and that took 6 months to a year, somewhere in that 8 to 9 month range to find a replacement. And then that was Vinicius Townsend, and he did the first chapter. And then I wanted to have a second colorist do the second chapter as Dorothy enters Oz, again to that idea of her entering the new world and the black and white to color. I thought a different color so the different vibe would look cool, and he ended up not being a good fit, and it took him a while to turn in pages. And I was looking at that end of the year deadline, and I had to let him go. I said, this isn't going to work. So I went back to Vinny. Luckily, he agreed to return, and it turned out, I didn't need to go to the other colors because Vinny's colors over the inks were just the right amount of difference that I needed from his colors over the pencils. So it really worked out. As you said, you noticed it, and it pops. Uh, there's just a certain vibe you get with that scene change. I think it worked out pretty well. And there were other delays that,
yeah. No, I would agree. I
yeah,
would agree.
yeah. So,
I also got to compliment Zeb the way he introduced a major character in the book and when he introduced that major character, and you know what I'm talking about. But
hmm
I thought that was done really well. So
I'm glad that whole section. Not that I doubted it, but and part of me, I like that we're speaking in code to the chat here. Um,
well,
I was,
Jim will yell at me if I just straight spoil it
yeah,
because he's going to read
yeah.
it 3 years from now. You know.
That was definitely something that I considered. Like, are we doing this right? Like the pacing feels right. So yes, but at the same time, yeah, I was a little nervous as to how little said character was there,
Sure, sure.
based
I
off of you know ramp up.
popularity.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. No,
People
I
probably
thought
know
it
what
was
we're
done
talking
very
about.
well, and like I think I don't know how much Zeb has to do with it, but I would assume like that was Zeb like kind of paid controlling the
hmm
pacing a little bit, so he
Yeah,
did a good job.
absolutely. Yeah, yeah,
So yeah, give him my compliments. I know he's not around and whatever, but
yeah. I
there
will
you
for
go.
sure. He's got he's got my ear for that kind of stuff. So, or I mean, I've got his ear for that kind of stuff. So definitely, I'll let him know.
Eddie Winkler says, "Hello, all gonna listen while I go to sleep. We're ASMR. If any of you didn't get BBR, get it while you can. Good night." So let's say it that you can back Battlebrook Road. I mean, we have 9 people in here. I'm sure they've all backed Battlebrook Road, but if not, the link is in the description below.
Yes.
Maromi's in the house. What's up, Maromi?
Hello.
So, how many books do you think you're going to go through before you kind of settle in on who you are? Because, like I said, I mean, we are on a journey with you.
Mhm.
discovering, and like your layouts are, you could tell none of them are bad, I don't think, personally, but you could tell that you're really trying to figure things out, and I enjoy that. But so now
How
you've
long?
gotten go ahead.
Continue.
So now you've gotten Flying Fortress, which is pretty basic, you know what I mean? Like,
Hmm.
and now you've got Battlebrick Road. You're doing right here Downcast 4. And that's a continuation. Like I said, you're breaking a panel, and you've done it. Actually, there's a few I've seen a few pages from this, and I could see where you're developing. I guess is a
Yeah,
good term. So maybe you never settle in, Eric. I don't
I
know.
don't
I'm not
think
an artist.
I don't think I will. I've been behind a pencil for a while in my life, in my 38 years, and I don't ever want to just stick to one thing. And I could see why people do it.
Hmm.
It's easy to do. You learn your tricks and you stick to your box of tools that you use and you just stay there. And that's fine, but it would be really cool to see, I don't know, to see Jim Lee draw differently now than he did in 1991. I mean, it's been 30 years. So, but I just don't want to do that. I feel like constant growth is necessary, and there are artists out there that do grow constantly, and it's those are the inspiring artists for me. Those are the guys that I look to, saying, "Oh, look what you're doing. That's great." And whether it's through comic book art or like branching out into different mediums or what have you, like you look at Dave Finch, and then you see his comic book art, but then you see his paintings, and that's like, yeah, that's something I can do. Where it's you want to get your creative juices going in all sorts of different directions.
Uh, Past Master Dennis says a rut is a grave with the ends kicked out. That's true.
Yeah,
Kind of. Depending on like if you're on a hill or not,
yeah.
or down in a holler, as I would say.
I see. I would have sat down in a hole, and then it just makes me think of Alice in Chains.
Oh, I love Alice in Chains, Eric
Me
Withers.
too. Yes.
I was
Can't.
playing. I was playing No Excuses. I was noodling on the guitar not long ago, and well, no, it's Don't Follow. I was noodling Don't Follow, the
Hmm.
song about Alice in
Oh,
Chains.
my oldest has picked up uh, my old cheapo guitar, and he's been noodling around on that, learning how to play finally. Because I was like, he doesn't have any hobbies right now, which is silly to me.
Why
It's
doesn't
like
he
you got
draw?
he does, but
Hmm.
he has a certain personality type that if he doesn't feel like he can do it well, he doesn't try.
That's my boy.
Yeah.
You can't win. Don't play.
Hmm. But and then me, I'm like, no, I mean, failing is a part of it. That's all. That's the journey.
Mm.
And but I finally got him. I was like, you're gonna have to get a hobby. You can't just do uh, you'll watch your YouTube videos and then go and rearrange your room again. That was he would just rearrange his room. Like, all right, we gotta do something else here. So I was like, he's like, well, I really want to learn the drums. I said, that's great, but we don't have drums and we don't have room for drums. I said, but we do have a guitar. So he pulled it out and he's got my little practice amp in his room and he's been playing.
Oh, so he's starting on electric.
Yeah, yeah. I don't
Okay.
even own an acoustic.
I would say that there's a good website for beginners called justinguitar.com. It's really
Yeah.
good.
Well, I mean, I'm just looking at it. Yeah, it's like I've been playing for 25 years, very inconsistently, but he's finally. I tried teaching him a few years ago, and we just weren't on the same page. And it wasn't. I wasn't being a good teacher, and he wasn't really wanting to be a good student. So it wasn't
Y-
working out. But now I'm like, no, this is how you hold it, and these are your. I was able to teach better, and that
yeah, you just
felt
teach them
good.
the open chords, and like then you can play whatever you. I mean, once you learn what A, E, G, C, D, and F, like you could play just about any song. Like it's
Yeah, he's still
ridiculous.
getting. He's still getting like really, really basic fingering, like trying to get his fingers on the strings. So he's learning the
Ah,
Seven Nation Army plucking.
uh, well, I'm the reason why that's funny if the chat doesn't know is because Seven Nation Army is like I'm going to Wichita, right?
Hmm. And then, of course, his younger brother, I would have played guitar. And then he picks it up and he starts doodling around on it. And he doesn't know how to play guitar, but he plucks the E string and then hits the second fret. And he realizes he hears, he goes, "Hey, Dad, this sounds like Happy Birthday." So he figured out already he's 6. So he heard 3 notes in a row, and he could already tell that those 3 notes in that order were the first 3 notes of Happy Birthday. So I was like, "Okay, let me show you how to play it." So, yeah, I'm gonna have a couple musicians on my hand here.
That's great though.
Oh, absolutely.
I have one, my son. So, past master Dan said, teach him some bar chords. That's what I said. If you learn the F
Mhm.
chord, you know bar chords. Like,
Yep,
teach him the F. Once you learn the F, you know how to play guitar, buddy. That's it.
yep.
Like you're off to the races. I remember I mastered the F when I was stationed in Alaska, and I remember when I did it, I was like, oh man, I know how to play guitar now.
There's a moment when it clicks. For me, it was when uh, I forget, such a noob when it comes to playing. Like, I don't know even know what terms there are, but whatever the vibrato when you uh, wiggle the string, you play a note and you that
Yeah,
thing,
yeah,
whatever
yeah.
that's called. I don't know what that's called. But when I figured that out and it came naturally, that was when I was like, okay, I can play guitar now.
Yeah, you need to learn your terms, pull offs and hammer ons and
Well,
all of
that's yeah, I know those, but whatever that's called,
that. All right.
vibrato, I don't know, wiggle, shake and
Uh,
boogie.
shake,
Somebody,
rattle, and roll.
there
Yeah.
you go. Got to play them blues.
Yeah, you gotta. That's when you gotta learn your scales for the blues.
Hmm.
Uh, so we're talking about Battlebrook Road, but I'd be remiss to say that also below Eric, I have the sign up link for Groken 2, which I'm very excited about.
Yeah,
I don't know who wouldn't be excited for Groken 2 by now, honestly.
nobody in their right mind.
What about says nice hands you're drawing there, Eric.
Oh, thank you. I finally got pretty good at drawing hands.
They're pretty good actually in Battle Brick Road. Now, Eric, I'm gonna dox my DM to you after I got the book a little bit. Now, I just
Okay.
want to get your opinion. So when I got the book, I told Eric I was like, I read it, and Eric's like, "What did you think?" And the first thing I said is I was relieved it didn't suck. Pretty much. How did that
Hmm.
make you feel when I told you that, Eric?
Yeah,
You-
I was relieved that you were relieved because there's a whole lot of um, it's still there because you're the one review that I've read. Um, there's still some of that, like, I don't know what you call it, but built up anxiety or whatever about what people think because my baby is getting out into the wild. So there's certainly a matter of hoping that it clicks with people, hoping that people love it. I mean, honestly, that's what you want. I want people to just be like, "Wow, this is the best book I've ever read." That's what I want to hear.
sure,
Realistically, I don't know. Maybe I'll get one or two of those, if at all. But to hear that you're relieved, that's that's great. I don't want to disappoint with any of my offerings, whether on any level, really. Like, I don't want to disappoint with the story, with the
oh,
art, with the
bless you
package.
then. Bless you, because as somebody who come to me and is like, I'm just happy it didn't suck. I don't know how I would feel about that.
I take it as a compliment.
All right, all right.
Do you want me to hate you for it? I can hate you for it.
That's up to you. I can't tell you how to
Okay.
feel about me, Eric.
Okay.
Jim Cox says AC/DC is easy to learn. It's all power chords. Well, that's
Yeah.
a lot of those kind of bands. Even Metallica.
Yeah.
Well,
He's an
not all
AC/DC fan.
Metallica, but
Yeah.
be master of
We'll
puppets.
get there. He's been
Rough.
playing for about 3 days. We'll work our way up to Metallica, to Master of Puppets.
Maybe we'll see him in 6 years or so.
Yeah, yeah.
Past Master Dan says the progression CGDGE.
Mhm.
That's a
It's blues
country music
progression.
song. That's a lot of country music songs right there.
Yeah.
So are you enjoying actually working on somebody else's book that's not your own, Eric? Now that you're doing
Yeah.
Downcast
Yeah,
here?
I am. I am. There's, equal parts sort of relaxation and, freaking out.
What are you freaking out about? I did.
Just not art related. It's just like, okay, well, I wanna be a good, uh, creator on a that's, can hit his deadlines, and I've never had to I don't remember the last time I had a somebody else's, artwork deadline-wise for, like, a full book. So, somebody else's story or anything. So, I wanna do right by Clint, and so puts a fire under you to get it going.
Well, it also really pressure because like you're not supposed to do business with friends. You guys kind of broke that rule here, so I'm sure that's like you know what I mean. Like I don't mean to
Yeah.
be, but
This was more work for hire anyways. It's a little bit different, because I have done business with friends, and that's what happened with, Flying Fortress, and that didn't end
yeah,
up very well, which is unfortunate, but,
it is
um,
unfortunate.
yeah. So this is just to do the job and get the heck out of here,
Let it fly.
let it go. Yeah.
Moromi says
Don't like the
ACDC
band.
is all one mode. We're talking about
Mhm.
ACDC, so there you go. Big balls or yeah, wait, no. Yeah, big balls kick the hell out of you. That was from Last Action Hero, Eric.
Is it
Uh,
really?
yeah. Got Shelby Robertson. Hail, what is this mysterious object Eric is illustrating?
It's Downcast 4, Shelby
Yeah.
Robertson. The,
Uh,
what did he the Bitcoin,
yeah, he
hat?
keeps. I told him the other day he came on the channel. I'm like, damn it, Shelby, I've been watching, and then all of a sudden, like his Instagram just blows up with like, I'm like, what the hell? Shelby's really into bitcoins.
Yeah. I saw that, I was like, "Wow, you're just letting people know you made 13 grand, and this is crazy. You must
uh,
really like this thing."
Shelby said he was late and referring to the hand. If Shelby, if you
Yeah.
want to come in here or Phil, like let me know. Like we're just hanging out. I'm
Yeah.
just happy with Battlebrook Road. So I was very excited. I'm glad to be able to talk to Eric about it. So Eric, I thought it was really cool when you were streaming yesterday. And you're like, I can't wait to we have a Comic Con in our city. You said
Yeah.
I can't wait to go there with a Kenneth Rocafort cover.
Oh, dude. Well, check it out, right? So, Zeb is good friends with the guy that owns Wizards Asylum here in town, and
Mhm.
the guy just ordered a dozen books.
Oh, he did. Nice.
Oh, yeah, and I don't think he even knows. Maybe Zeb showed him, I don't remember. But I think he just called him and said, "Hey, our book's ready," because he's been waiting. So once the campaign, orders are out, we'll be packing up those sort of personal orders for close friends and, businesses around town. He said there's a shop in El Dorado that wants some too. So we'll be,
I
getting
go
it around town.
I go to a different comic store than you because you
You go.
go to Wizards and I go Prairie Dog is my LCS.
Hmm.
Prairie Dog Comics. So
Wizards is like 2 minutes away from my house, so
yeah, and
I
then
figured
we
I
also have the nerd the the tabletop store. Have you been there?
yeah. What's that called again? That's I don't remember.
I forgot, but it smells like a middle school gym in there.
It does, yeah.
Yeah,
Unfortunately,
yeah, it reeks.
yeah.
Everybody's happy
I
to see Shelby. Shelby says late was referring to the hand. That was a hand. It was a really good hand.
I'm not happy with it entirely. So
Oh, so we're moving. I like how you're bouncing back and
I
forth.
have to bounce. If I get stuck on something, I'm like, all right, we're gonna go to a different page. We're gonna scribble something else out. So
I like it because I get a peek in how your process works. So,
it's a bit scattered for sure.
oh, well, you get it done.
Yeah, that's true.
Shelby says hashtag buy comics, not crypto. Yeah, yes, yes, exactly. Everybody's happy to see. Oh yeah, and then we had the big news with Phil and Pitt. Did you hear, Eric,
Yeah, yeah, I'm on the team. Did you hear?
that you're on the team?
Uh huh.
I just assumed, actually.
Well, I went on post Kangs on Monday, and it was obviously John and Dale was in there, and Mike, and then that's when Rob was out kangaroo hunting in his backyard,
Hmm.
and uh, John left to go, I don't know, eat a sandwich or something, and so I was like, Dale, I don't think we've met, and he goes, Yeah, Eric, nice to meet you. You want to let her pit? I was like, Sure, let's do it. So there you go, we got the job.
Well, you didn't. That's pretty anticlimactic. That's an anticlimactic story, Eric.
You could go watch it though. It's pretty rad.
Well, I know, but still, like you would expect, like you would have to work for it or whatever. You
I
were just,
did. It's called 5 years of Comicsgate.
hmm. I still think you should have like had a. I'm going to talk to Dale and I'm going to be like, maybe you should get Roquefort to letter it.
How dare you?
Maybe you should reevaluate.
How dare you?
I'm just playing.
Got it.
Pastmaster Dan says deodorant, kids, get it, wear it, thank me later, dude. It took me a while. Like I don't think I got my son on the deodorant bandwagon until his freshman year in high school. I
Oof.
kept yelling at him over and over and over, but then he noticed the ladies,
Mm,
and that changed everything.
it does.
Phil said finished last night, started over today. I don't know what the hell that refers to.
It's tacos, maybe. I don't know.
A day old tacos? Phil's taking credit for you getting your wording gig. I call
Oh,
bullshit.
thank you, Phil. I appreciate it.
I call bullshit. It smelled of freshly opened Lay's potato chips. No, dude. The gaming store, the tabletop gaming store, it smells like a middle school like locker room or something.
Yeah,
It's awful.
yeah. It's not
So
good.
then we were talking last night about our con, our local con. Should we talk about it now that we're both on the panel together?
Sure. You want to talk about that ridiculous
Yeah, so
monstrosity?
there's a 350-pound squat spider Gwen that runs
Mm-hmm.
around at our con. And look, dude, our grand prize at our con for the winning of the cosplay costume contest is $50.
I thought it was 25.
No, no, that's like okay, that's not best in show though. Best
Ah,
in show gets $50.
they could easily double that if they just charged good ticket prices.
Hmm.
I think that's the problem with it is the ticket prices are so low. You just kind of got to take what you get when it comes to.
Dude, we have the worst con in the country, I'm pretty
We
sure.
do, yeah. Which
But
is why I'm going to invite Vaughn, see if he
yeah.
wants to come.
Well, then we
Yeah.
could have Vaughn and we could have you.
Mm-hmm.
So that's two CG tables.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I'll just have a CG table.
Yeah. What would you do? Just have a podcast?
I could just bring I could bring all my books and just like put them in like this is what we're doing over in CG.
And then they could come to my table and get the book signed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All three of our tables would have to be together.
Yeah. That's true.
Shelby says, funny enough, we also have one of the worst local cons in the nation due to overpriced entry. So we're saying ours is underpriced, and he says his is overpriced. And I believe he's close to Tucson, Arizona. So
Okay.
that pitch scene has lots of Kubert influence, says Pastmaster Dan. That pitch scene.
This up here, panel one. That Is that what he means?
Yeah, I don't know what pitch means. I don't know what Dan is referring to when he says pitch.
Either.
Maybe
Yep.
he'll let us know. That would be
Yeah,
good.
he said,
Yes.
"Yep." The
Yeah.
throw there.
Kirby or Kubert, Joe Kubert. He says he sees Joe Kubert there. Interesting.
I didn't go to the Kubert school. That was always my dream. But I did do the mail in correspondence course for a couple of those.
Shelby says he's digging the third panel. He's going to steal it.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, go ahead. Steal anything you want. All my stuff's stolen anyway, so go for it.
So are you one of those guys that have like a bunch of books around for reference,
Oh
Eric?
yeah, I have no imagination. So yeah, I have to like constantly feed my inner creative well with just nonstop. It's comics, it's movies, it's games, it's media. Sometimes it's music. I always have to have something uh, going in to just fill it up because I don't know. Maybe I got too much going on or whatever. But it's hard for me to visualize things. It's hard for me to um, kind of take things to their final finish as well. So
Hmm.
I'll get to like right here, which I'm pretty close to being done on this page, and I'll get stuck on something silly like how do I black this area out and make it look good? Because I don't like the way that I black areas out. So
Oh gosh, Shelby wants to see the page with the furry page, but I don't know if you want
okay,
to show it.
no, that's okay. Right here,
Yeah,
it's just a little sketchy sketch here.
yeah. Clint's gone to the furry side.
Yeah,
I don't know what to say.
it
I mean,
happens.
we're not happy. I mean, Ed. I know Eddie's probably asleep by now, but if he saw this page, he'd be all kinds of excited.
Yep, he would. He would. You got to cater to all people. There's a big uh, crack in here too. I don't know if I've showed these pages off yet. This is this is the beast that he's fighting here. Is this
Whoa, whoa, whoa,
giant?
whoa! That shading is new from the lab, dude. I like
Hmm.
that. That's very Nolan-esque with the digital, like he does that. Nolan
I'm
does.
I'm trying to get to that point. So I really like tones. So I've said in the past, I'm trying to bridge the gap between penciling and painting. 'Cause I don't like inking. I don't like the solid black lines. It was very hard for me to draw Battlebrick Road Chapter 2 in Book
Hmm.
1. That was a struggle because I just don't like the way microns feel or any of those multi-liner art pens. I don't like the way the lines come down, but I was going for a specific look. Uh, for better or worse, it was a real pain in the neck, but
Mm.
but I think it ultimately worked out. I mean, I'm very happy with how the pages turned out. But I really enjoy painting, digitally painting. There's a certain flow, just the mechanics of it, the way that my stylus goes across the iPad or across the Wacom tablet, and it just feels natural. And it's because a lot of that is like when I sketch, I'm real loose, so it's sort of similar in the way it feels to do it just in my hand. Uh, that doesn't sound weird. So I'm trying to bridge that gap and maybe bring those tones in. So like even on these other pages that I've done that are finished, I want to go. There's a little bit of them in here. Did I close it? I think I closed it. There's a little bit of it in here in the background, and I'll do another pass of it,
Hmm.
uh, like
This is good
there.
stuff, man. I can't. Dude, even from Battlebrook Road to here, like I said, like you're my one of my favorites, and a lot of it is like I really feel like I'm on the journey with you. Like if you look at this top panel here, there's a lot more detail going in than you usually see out of you. You know, it's just
Yeah,
improvement, it's growth, and you're doing it a lot faster, dude. Like, good for
I
you,
think
man.
for me, I, I I'm never satisfied uh, artistically. Um, I get to a point where I'm like, okay, it's good. I'm looking at this and thinking, and just even that top panel, I'm looking. Okay, I know other. I can take it further, and that's where those tones are going to come in. But there,
Sure, you could, but and I'm not sure if you were in the channel when I heard even somebody like I'm going to bring up Roquefort here, right? So
Mhm.
I've got to see the book a lot sooner than I helped proofread it and whatever.
Yeah.
So we got done proofreading it. He's like, "All right, I'm gonna. It's I did the pre-press. It's going to print." And I'm like, "Are you happy with it?" And he says, "No." Or he's like, "Yeah, but There's some things I wanted to improve, but I was out of time."
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like, I
Yeah.
think that's like one of my favorite things a creator has said is like, I was out of. So how do you? I mean, you just said you have a deadline for Downcast 4. I'm sure
Yeah.
you're feeling that, Eric.
Yeah, for sure. If I spend 4 weeks on a page, we can make it look fantastic, but we don't have that luxury. Um,
But it looks
so,
fantastic now, dude.
well, thank you. But I just mean in terms of how much further, like I can, now that it's this far in, I can see, okay, now I know I could do this. I put the shadow behind him, casting shadow against that coral rock thing behind him.
Mhm,
Put some more value shading in the distance, in the very
mhm,
far back, to show like there's this haze of the water because he's in the deep ocean, and just little things. Maybe throw some more fish and throw a starfish on there, just like little things that help sell the piece, but aren't ultimately necessary. So it's like I'm just at a spot where it's like this is definitely a great page, and I'm very happy with it. But I can also look at it and think, I could. An artist is never done. I'm
mhm.
never. A piece is never finished. So there's
Alright.
always more that can be done. So
So, while you're drawing this, I wanna go back to Battle Brick Road and compliment you
yeah.
again on something else in the book, if you don't mind. I hope I don't, like, make you blush or whatever, but you have this, like, double page spread with, Thea, where she's holding a
Hmm.
rifle.
Hmm.
It's set up so well because that last panel on the page before where it's just, like, you see her shadow and just her
Yeah.
legs. Dude, that's really great.
Thanks.
Really, really great.
Thank you.
So, yeah, man, like, you don't with somebody who just has one book. I mean, I know they're like multiple books, but I consider Flying Fortress one book, right?
Yeah,
So, with
it is
somebody
to
with
me
just
too.
that, but you're able to do that now in your second book, like, dude, that's really good, Eric. Like,
Thank you.
really.
And
So
that
you
again,
set that double page. Go ahead.
that goes back to that thing I was talking about earlier, where I was like, I I have to surround myself with those things. So I don't know where, but I had seen that whether it was in a movie or in a comic where I saw like there's a shot of a door opening and you just see the shadows of the
Mhm.
legs. You don't see the person. I thought that's the shot that I need right here. So that's
Right.
how it gets incorporated. So it wasn't like, oh, I knew right off the bat this is what it needed to be. It had to like enter my orbit, my creative orbit, for me to sort of pick it out of the air.
Well, then
So
you said the page turn up, and then the page turn is a double page spread with Thea,
mhm.
like, with the badass rifle, like, like
Yeah.
I hope I'm getting the guys in the chat excited too, by the way.
Me too. Go back Battle Rick Road. Yeah.
But yeah, you did really good there. And there's like little things like that throughout the book that I noticed, and I've only read it once, and those are just
Mhm.
things that kind of like popped out while I was going through it. I'm like, wow, wow, look at this, look at this, look at this.
Yeah.
So I was
Yeah,
pretty
and
impressed.
there are some Easter eggs in there that people will see. I mentioned one. There are others beyond that one.
Yeah, you might
Um,
have nodded our channel's favorite creator. Like
I'm- I may
you
have.
may have given him a nod.
Yeah. Um, I mean, there's some stuff in the beginning, and there's some things that sort of will pay off. They aren't necessarily Easter eggs, but there's a lot of uh, setup that you won't really notice until subsequent books too.
Yeah, and I
So
mean, like I said, Zeb he gets some credit here, man. Like, well, there I had a critique, and I'm not going to say it here. I gave it to you privately.
you know
But
what's
there's
funny about that? It wasn't originally like that. That was Vaughn's idea, and we liked it.
oh really?
Yeah,
What?
yeah. So that
Now I
that
feel like
page,
a now I feel like a dick, Eric.
Why?
because I shit all over Vaughn's idea.
Well, maybe it was a bad idea. I don't know. And you may be the only one that didn't like it.
It
But
might be.
we looked at it both ways, and we were like, no, this feels better because it had a certain feeling to the opening that we felt was maybe lacking the way we had it originally. So uh,
Jay Ryan's saying you should use lotion. I'm thinking that was way earlier, and I apologize,
yeah, I said
Jay.
something about how it feels in my hands. I think
Oh, okay.
about
And
drawing.
then Shelby says he's got a question for Jim Cox. So there you go. So are you going to apply this shading to the rest of all the other pay? I would assume so. You can't just do it here and not
Yeah,
do it
yeah,
anywhere else.
and a lot of this is just my preliminary penciling. So I do want to go back and add shading, and I have some. I want to get into that. I love that halftone look, so I have some. I haven't found the right one. Obviously, that's too big, but I have some halftone stuff I want to get into as well. Very subtle around edges here and there, but I'll experiment with that. Like I'll be tinkering with this up until they're done and ready
Oh,
to
for
be
sure.
sent. Yeah,
Now, you handle things a little bit different. I always found that interesting too, and I think it works for you. And I understand why other people have a different outlook on it. You show a lot of your art as you're doing it, right? Where somebody maybe like Rocafort or Shane, they don't want to do that. But with you, like you improve so much that I think it's almost it benefits you because people, like I said, they're on that journey with you or whatever. So
yeah.
I love that you do it. You know what I mean?
I've never really been one to be. A lot of artists will like, don't look at it. I'm not done. Just even growing up as a kid, like my son will be like, "No, I'm not done. Don't look." And I've never really had that trouble. I'm like, Here, this sketch looks kind of cool. Let me show you where I'm happy with it. Let me show you guys. Maybe you'll be happy with it too." Um, and then it sort of, I went to college. I studied graphic design in college, and part of that whole process of design is going through and getting classroom critiques. You stand in front of everybody and you say, "This is my, design for soap and this made up soap company that I have, and here's the box and here's the design and here's the, all of that." And they rip it to shreds. They're like, "Oh, I like the color choice. Oh, that maybe you think about doing this, or I don't like the way you made whatever." And I've sort of after that, it became really easy for me to just put my art out in front of people. So then, fast forward a few years after college, I started live streaming on Twitch, and I was doing that as I was learning to paint. So I had finished drawing Flying Fortress, and I was like, I want to try painting. And I was following some artists that were just sort of doing that on at the time, about 5, 6, 7 years ago. There was this um, movement within Twitch where people would it's probably still there. I just haven't been on Twitch as in depth as of these
Don't
recent
get
years
rid of
because
it
of
though, because
CG.
I'm lazy and that's where I want to give you the money. I don't want to.
I'm not
Yeah.
getting rid of it. But there was this sort of community of like other artists practicing on live streams, just learning how to, in this case, do digital paintings for like
Hmm.
concept art and portraits and key art for video games and things. So um, I just would do it live. Like I have dozens of paintings, most of them halfway finished because they were a part of that process. Just stored away in files on my computer. So I've never really had trouble showing artwork before it's done. Um, I'm never like you look at this page,
Hmm.
and by the time you see it finished and colored and lettered, parts of the whole panels might have changed because I never really feel like I've locked in. I think it has to do with me not being able to maybe visualize what it is. I don't have a final thing. Everything's always fluid. Everything's ready to go. Everything's ready to be adjusted or tweaked. I'm never.
You did a
Uh,
really good job in this top panel of like showing how big this friggin' octopus is.
Thanks. Yeah, I have to. It's actually not the first time you see him. The first time you see him is here. So here I have to add like other giant creatures that you know are giants, like a killer whale here or something, so that scale wise, because
Ooh, you should
hero
do a Black Marlin.
our heroes are down here looking over the crest of this
Mm,
thing, you know.
yeah,
So
makes sense. Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
People saying, "Oh, Jim's gotten some stuff delivered to somebody from Shelby." Interesting. And then Jeremy Bird says, "Hey, Moromi, I'm watching you guys in the chat. If you guys have any questions, feel free to
yeah.
ask."
I'm here. I'm an open book.
So, how does Clint feel? Is he all right with you? I mean, because you've been on stream when you were showing this while you were
Uh huh.
drawing
Yeah, yeah.
before,
I
so
wouldn't
obviously
see
he's all
this.
right. But did you guys have a conversation? How's that work?
I just said, "Hey, do you mind if I draw this on stream?" He said, "Yeah, go
Oh,
for it."
okay, cool.
It's pretty simple. And I was like, "No spoilers, obviously." He said, "No, go ahead and show whatever."
Mm.
Because I mean, ultimately, with artwork, yeah, I mean, there are spoilers, I guess you can get into, but without the dialogue, it's really hard to understand context and things like that. So it's been one of the reasons why, other than the fact that it's probably extremely boring, one of the reasons why I don't let her on stream unless it's mine and I don't care about a page of
And
spoiler, or I know what isn't a spoiler.
I
You
could
know,
see the
so
way you're doing layouts on this page. I could see them underneath there, and
hmm
it's pretty cool, man. Because you have, it looks like the other vertical panels are going to be like below, and that guy, the
yeah,
octopus is, yeah, dude, cool,
yeah. So
cool
that's in
stuff.
front. That's going to be over everything, and these are going to pull all the way down.
Sure,
Yeah,
yeah, good stuff.
yeah. In fact, I don't remember what I scribbled in here, so I have to go look at the script again.
So you guys just have fulfilled you and Zeb,
hmm
just a few of the books so far. So
Yeah,
he's getting a little taste of what it's going to be like. Because you have a, I mean, let's face it, for it's a big campaign for someone like you. The
it's
amount of
huge.
book.
It took us 2.5 weeks to do 600 books from Flying Fortress, but we were also behind the curve in terms of being prepared for what fulfillment meant because we had posters that we were folding. I was still doing sketches in the book. I had little head sketches depending on if you got that. And signing and nothing was prepared. We didn't prepackage anything with Flying Fortress. This every backers things are already put together with the exception of like the newest 50 that came in when I did my update about
Hmm.
the supplemental books being turned in, and got a lot of people that added that. So I had a secret link that if you had already backed the book and you saw the supplemental and it wasn't a part of your order, you could. There's a secret link you can add it to your
Added in
orders.
there.
Sort of, yeah, no extra shipping. So we got like 25 new ones there and a bunch of new backers all together. So yeah, I mean,
So is Zeb
it,
ready? You think? Because I think you being around CG and then doing, I mean, you did Flying Fortress, but you also like talk to the creators and you know what like a,
yeah,
you kind of know what to expect from like 1700. Do you think
I
he's
think
got an idea?
um, I don't think so, not yet. I don't because well, I mean, we haven't really been able to get into it really yet. I mean, there's just been,
Yeah, for sure.
just been a handful, not a handful. There's about 50 to 60 books that are out there, and then another, I think, 60 that we've got ready to go. Not books, but not individual books, but orders. So, and he's out. He's out of. He's moved out of town, but he's ready to go whenever we're ready to go.
Mm,
So, and obviously he's got to be here to sign, and we hung out and we signed and bag and boarded our first batch. What was it? Last Monday or whatever it was. So,
hmm.
I don't think he's. I've been like, this is gonna take. It's gonna take a while. But again, like my experiences with Flying Fortress and with just with helping Vaughn with Monster MD, and even like that signature experience was different than this one because we were signing inside the cover, and this one we're signing on the cover. So it's a lot faster. We've already streamlined that. Uh, so like
Well,
we,
he needs to streamline his signature too, because you just got the EW.
Yeah, I
His is going to change. It's going to happen.
it will. Yeah, I changed mine because of the way I was signing Monster MD. That was a good practice, but I changed mine
Yeah, you get
to
the
that.
lazy like the yeah, like Mark does the lazy P where it's just like
Yeah, it's
P.
just like
Yeah,
that.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So
He
that's
needs to
gonna
just do
happen.
like a he just needs to do that and call it good.
That's another thing I wanted to bring up. I'm glad you brought that up. I missed the EW exclamation point.
Yeah.
So
How
why
did
did
I
you change it from that to the E to the new one you're doing?
again, it's like my art. I can never settle.
Oh.
Um, which one did I do? Like that?
Oh, remember the EW little graphic that you used
Uh,
with the exclamation? It was like EW exclamation point.
oh, the logo, my logo
Logo, yeah,
logo.
yeah. You changed
I
your
see what you're saying.
logo. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Um, why did I change it? That's a good question. Uh, I don't know. I mean, it's still an EW,
It's true. It is.
and it looks like a book like that. It looks like a book, you know.
Mhm.
So I don't know. I've had that. It's sort of new to you guys, but I've had that logo since like 2009. So it felt like it was time for a refresh, and
Mm.
I've had nothing but compliments about it. So again, what are you doing to me? What is this all about? Bring back cut and paste SIGs. Hello.
I sent Shelby the link. I like when artists talk
Oh,
to each other.
oh
So if he wants to join, I hope you don't mind, Eric. I don't know if
no,
he's
I don't
gonna
mind.
join or not.
I don't tend to talk like an artist. I don't think, but sure.
Dude, what are you doing right now? Look, you're drawing a book. You
Yeah,
can't be more of an artist than you are right now,
I didn't
Eric
say
Rowe.
I'm not an artist. I said I don't think I talk like one.
Mm. Well, you need to talk about like foreshortening and shit. Like make us feel
Yeah,
dumb.
yeah. Look at this foreshorten. You put your fist here, and then you do that circle there, and then that there, and you've got your arm and your
Dude,
tiny head.
why is Shelby? Did you ever see David Lynch's Dune, Eric?
No,
You haven't seen the old Dune movie with Sting in it?
nope, have not.
Yeah, I think that's a Shelby reference trying to talking about milking a cat. That
I
movie's
grew up.
so bad.
I grew up in an uncultured household. All we watched were 1989 Batman and Beetlejuice
You didn't watch
and
Hee Haw?
Aliens. No hee haw.
Oh
Uh,
no.
no, uncultured. Like I said.
Well, I mean, I don't know anybody that considers Hee Haw culture.
Well, when you haven't seen it, almost anything can be culture.
Oh, all right. How much did okay? So when Clint gave you the script,
Mhm.
was it just like did he was it pretty hands off as far as layouts and this is all you?
The whole thing is hands off, outside of like very, very, very small direction, very little direction, and just panel count.
Mm.
4 or 5 panels a page. No, no explanations as far as like long shot, medium shot, up shot, down shot. None of that. Just what the characters are doing, and the rest is up to me. So, um,
I think it's
so
gonna be
there.
great. I'm excited just by looking and seeing what you're doing here. I think he
Thanks.
was right to give you a Monstro story too. By the way,
I don't think I would have done it if it weren't.
really?
Yeah.
Why?
Just because timeline wise, I want to get back to Battlebrick Road
Hmm.
artwork, and I know that I can draw creatures pretty well and pretty quickly. And if I were to have to draw a bunch of humans and faces and facial expressions and perfect anatomy, I would have been struggling to get through it. So there are pages with humans, and I'm wait I those are the ones that are going to take me the longest. With like, I'm not good at those little details like
Well,
consistent faces, and I'm not
right,
happy with where I am with it at least.
right, and we can go back, take that back to Battle Brick Road because that was one of the critiques I had. Right? I mean,
Hmm.
I gave it to you privately. I don't want. Do you mind if I talk about it publicly? Like,
I don't mind.
yeah. So There was parts where your the faces and the expressions that you put out in Battlebrook Road, I was floored because that was such an improvement, but the consistency, I think you're right, you're saying, like, you didn't wanna drawing faces takes a lot of time for you, I think
Mhm.
is what you're saying, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I can't just scribble it out and make it look good. I It's a real chore.
but even then, for Battlebrook Road, I mean, like I said, there are times where, like, Thea's, like, giving expressions, especially, I mean, there's some panels, and, I mean, you've gotta know those are ones you're proud of, I'm sure, but when I looked at it, I'm like, "Holy crap." Like, this is like Shane Davis, like, this is on his way to Shane, because Shane's really good at that shit, right?
Yeah,
So, I just thought, but then sometimes it's not as good, and that's gotta be a struggle as a developing artist, Eric, you know what I'm saying?
sure. Yeah, it absolutely is. Yeah, there's always room to grow, and I get tired. I get tired of working on pages, so I'm like, you know what, screw it. This is at least sufficient,
Well, the
but I
book
have
has
to
to get
move
going.
on. Yeah, I
Yeah,
have to move on.
mhm. But then again, like I said, like, there are, like, I'm gonna flip through it and try to find like, hold on, let me try to find one that, like, you have one where you're showing the whites of her eyes and her, you know what I mean? The eyes are
Hmm.
so good. It's just a small little panel,
Hmm.
and she's got the tentacles on her cheek there, Eric. So
Oh yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. But you got her eye like widening, and you're really showing the whites, and it's so good. There's a few. There's one where, like, she's just pissed. She's just pissed, and you do such a good job. So
Is that the
I'd have to go flip through it. Hold on.
okay? Is that thing? I feel like that's in the beginning of the chat. I feel like that's in chapter one. She's dealing with that
Oh,
flying
there's the
monkey.
one where she's meeting with the uncle, and then she's
Hmm.
like on the bottom right, and she's got tears in her eyes. The
Yeah.
pupils are really dilated. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's good too. Like I said, dude, it's only, like, noticeable because you show such improvement on certain panels. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
yeah. Astro Zombie says, "I watched T Hall and I live in California. Besides the girls, my favorite segment was picking and grinning." Yeah, string bean, man. Like,
I have no idea what you're talking about.
hee haw.
I'm out of it. It's out completely out of my wheelhouse.
I wouldn't imagine you watched T Hall, but I was like, my family's so old school. I remember, like, listening to the radio on a Saturday night with my grandfather and listening to the Grand Ole Opry, man. Like,
My grandparents. I mean, that was on all the time. Um, in fact, that was a part of me growing up too, because our grandma would watch the kids. She was the daycare, and not just for uh, us, but like kind of that was
cousins.
sort of that's how she made money as well for like some people that weren't family
Oh,
as well.
okay.
But you'd go over there and we'd watch PBS. So it was all the PBS shows that were on in the for me would have been in the late '80s, early '90s. So obviously Sesame Street
Well, the
and David.
Spider-Man one, what was it? Electric Company's Spider-Man or whatever? Isn't that
I don't
PBS?
remember that. I remember Muppet Babies and um, the one with a
Reading
mannequin
Rainbow?
reading Rainbow. Yeah,
Mhm.
lots of stuff. And then at like 10 or 11, the kids shows would be over, and then my grandpa would flip it over because he was retired. He'd flip it over to Price is Right, and we'd watch Bill, what's his name?
Bob Barker?
Bob Barker. Yeah, we watched Bob Barker hit on the ladies
Mm,
and tell you to spay and neuter your pets. Yeah. So
yeah,
it was PBS cartoons and then uh, game shows.
yeah, it was westerns when he got older, but when he was
Oh
young, like,
yeah,
as
he was a
younger,
big not well Johnny Cash, but I'm trying to say John Wayne. Big John
we
Wayne.
like, memories is either like watching him play guitar and we're listening to Opry on Saturday night on the front porch. I know it sounds like Americana, but that's it, buddy. Like I'm serious. Or we would go to the short track, like race night Saturday nights
Yeah.
on the dirt track. Like so, there you go. You were saying how you hated NASCAR yesterday.
Yeah. It's not the only thing I said I hated, but
Jim,
yesterday was my airing of grievances stream.
this might be the only channel in Comics Get Eric where a random conversation about Hee Haw will break out in the chat,
Hey,
and rightfully so. I mean,
yeah, you got to
like,
go somewhere for that, and why not here?
hey Eric, are you drawing tonight? You want to come on? You want to come on and talk about Hee Haw? I'm sorry. Uh, Jim Cox is bringing up that Hee Haw was on Saturday night on prime time. Yes, indeed it was. So that's gonna be your killer whale, like that you lined out in front of the.
Yep.
Does the
That way.
octopus? What? It probably has a name. You probably can't tell us the name, but
No, they're gods. So this is one of the gods. So like at the end of Downcast 3, that's out, right? Yeah, people have that. The
mhm.
end of Downcast 3, there's these three creatures, and they are a set, some of the gods that are in the world of Downcast, and this is one of those gods. They, as Clint has said, they take the form of things that they see in the world. So this god has taken the form of an octopus or a kraken or whatever. It's not like it's a one for one.
Mhm.
It's a twisted version of. So it's like this enormous octopus with these spikes and you know crazy things. So uh, and again, Clint was very hands off. I even showed him some layouts. And he's like, "Hey, this look good." And he was like, "By the way, you don't have to show this to me. You can just draw, and then just turn it in when you're done."
That means he trusts you. That's good.
Yeah, absolutely,
So I know
absolutely.
some writers probably don't have that trust in their artists. But then again, I mean, his main artist, I forgot his name because I'm very terrible, Eric. But I mean,
Nacho
he's a
Lazaro.
Nacho. He's really good.
Yeah.
So he's probably helped not break Clint. Where you know what I mean? Where
Hmm.
if Clint has worked with a lesser art, not I wouldn't say a lesser artist, but a less experienced artist, maybe like it could have broke him where he needed to be. It was probably good at first experience for him, is what I'm saying.
Sure. Different writers have different ideas of what a complete script is, and Clint had said he did a video a couple of weeks ago about how he writes his script, and I think the video came out after. Yeah, I had already had the script for this, so it was neat to see him talk about it because he said that one of the things he likes to have is if it's a 20-page book, the script is going to be 20 pages. If it's a 50-page book, the script is going to be 50 pages. And what he means is sometimes writers will have lots of panel descriptions and lots of dialogue so that on a sheet of paper, if you print it out, you're printing out 2 pages where you have part of page 5 is on 2 pieces of paper. And he actively avoids that. And I didn't notice it when I was doing the layouts, but I looked back, I was like, dude, I love it because I can just put them side by side and see everything I need to see on the script so that I can look at the page next to it, and just be set. And I don't have to be like, okay, well, what's on panel 6? Well, I have to scroll down to find it, and then it's not together and it's not as cohesive or easy to read. And
All
he's
right.
also very, very light on, like I said, on descriptions. There's no like direction. There's no zoom in on this and pull out on that. And it's
No, he leaves it up to you. That's good
leaves
stuff.
it up to the artist. So there's a lot of collaboration. Whereas I look at like Vaughn's scripts, they're very detailed. He knows everything he wants in it. Um, Not that he doesn't take feedback or changes from an artist, but it's very locked in. Uh,
Which which do you prefer when you're drawing? I mean, do you do like Clint's method or Vaughn's method?
I like Clint's method because it's what I'm used to when I write my own stuff.
Hmm.
So it's sort of that's sort of my hip pocket
Got it.
go to
All
style. So
right. Now, Eric, I'm gonna see. Maybe we might get like blacked out for a moment, but I'm gonna show you this. This Shelby's what Shelby was referring to. Are you ready? It's terrible. I want to warn
okay,
you.
okay,
All right. So this is the Dune movie with Sting. This is Sting. I know it's
Okay.
fuzzy, but that's Sting,
Yeah, yeah.
right? So if you can't see Eric right here,
Uh-huh.
this is like a cage with a cat, and there's like
Okay.
things hooked up to its nipples.
Okay. I'm liking it so
Oh,
far.
Tufa! I see they've installed your hard plug already. Don't be angry, everyone gets one here. But this is not why we're here. We brought you a little cat, Thufa. You must care for it if you wish to live. A poison has been introduced into your body, Thufa Hawad. By milking this smooth little cat's body, you receive your antidote.
Oh, why the hell's there a rat taped to the cat? I don't like this freaking movie.
Oh
It
man.
must be done each day.
So, anyways, that's it. That's what it. That's
Thank you for that. I don't remember there being a cat milking scene in the Dune movie I did watch.
Moromi says, "Oh no, the dumb cat scene." Hmm. Yeah, no, there's a random rat taped to it. It's like, what is this? Yeah. So there you go. That was Shelby was talking about milking the cat or whatever. Maybe
Right.
not, but that's what I thought about.
Yeah. Now that's a part of my life.
Well, hopefully that teaches you never to go watch David Lynch's Dune. That's the lesson you should probably take from that clip.
I never felt the need to. Now I definitely won't. I did see the new one. I thought it was a little
I
slow, but it was it
I
was
loved it.
it was really a really intriguing watch.
I
As I
loved.
was saying last night, I tried watching 2001. I've never seen 2001 before, and
Yeah.
that one
Well,
just
to be
makes me want to take a
fair,
nap.
right. So to be fair too, though, like like we're
It's been a while
Christian.
since that movie came out.
Well, we're also Christian, Eric, right? Like you and
Yeah,
I, we believe God in God and His Son Jesus Christ. And
correct.
2001 is far from that. So thematically, it's not quite a fit, I would say, Eric.
It's also really boring, and
How
I
do you
think
mean?
that there's just old movies are boring because there's. I'm a normie. I need action. If there's not an explosion
Hmm.
every 15 minutes, you don't have my attention.
Right.
I need
Yeah,
you
you don't
need
want
to, you need to
people
keep
like
it moving.
talking about. Did you? Well, you said you haven't finished. Are you in the spaceship and how? And have you got that far yet?
I'm just to the point where yeah, Hal was just introduced, and like there's some dude talking, watching a video from his parents on the screen. They're like, "Hey, Steve," or whatever his name is.
Kubrick does a bunch of weird, like I watched, and you probably haven't watched it, and don't if you haven't. But he did a one with Cruise and Kidman called Eyes Wide Shut.
I know about it. I haven't watched it.
That movie made me hate women for like 2 months. Like all women, it didn't matter. Like
Every
I just
single one
would
of them.
glare at my wife for no reason. Like
Yeah.
I can't stand you because of this movie. So that's Kubrick for you.
Okay.
Oh, oh no, we're on to the croc.
Yeah. I'm kind of I'm not in a point where I can dive in and like draw
Hmm.
just because we're talking and I've been sort of at this all day. So
No, I
just
think it's cool that you're just bouncing around.
yeah, just penciling around on this
Well, you're still getting like you're
picture.
making progress, right? Like
Yep, that's what
okay,
it needs to be. And with my little comic book project tracker, I know where I'm at. I can say, oh, all I have to do is like 2/10 of a page a day, and I'll be done by the deadline. So if I'm ahead of that, uh, that's even better. So in this case, a panel a day, and I'm done. 2/10, 1/5. What am I saying?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, I mean, I see you like you've shown it so much that I kind of like, oh, that's new, that's new, that's new.
Hmm.
Whenever I get to see it, so. Dr. Moromi says Doctor Strangelove is a guilty pleasure. That's his favorite, my favorite movie. That's my favorite one by Kubrick. That's
The
so.
only I haven't seen that either. Like I said, I didn't grow up watching these classics. I had a dad and a brother who watched sports, and I watched cartoons and aliens.
Hmm. Yeah, not bad. I would have done
And
the sports, but I also
my
watched Aliens.
Yeah, I wasn't my bag. Still isn't. Like, I'll watch wrestling, but I won't
That's not
watch.
sports, Eric. That's not sports.
I
I don't
know.
care what the moral compass says.
I'm saying I'll watch wrestling, but I won't watch sports.
Mm. Astro Zombie says Kubrick did a very good noir film called The Killing. It's a favorite of Tarantino. I like Tarantino. I just
Yeah,
rewatched Kill Bill not too long ago.
I didn't like Tarantino for a while, and over the past few years, I've really started to appreciate his work. To sound uh,
Well, I think that might be
highfalutin.
that might be because everything that's been put out, like there's not been a lot of good cinema that's come out. You know what I
True.
mean? So maybe
Yeah.
you're going back and being like, oh well, he wasn't that bad after all.
Yeah. I think it's best if I don't watch a lot of interviews with him, but I will say that it was his Rogan
I never know
interview
that
that.
Tarantino was on Rogan. I
Yeah,
gotta
he
go
was on
watch that.
Rogan, and just kind of seeing him talk, it was like it was less. Uh, I don't know, it was a little less hectic, a little less not red carpet, but what do they call it when they're on the circuit? It was a little less
Yeah,
like that. It
yeah,
was, you know how Rogan
it
shows
was
are.
more
So
genuine. Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So it was like, okay, let me, because he talks about his films a lot, and then I was like, okay, I've kind of wanted to see Hateful Eight, so I started with that, and then I just started buying them all. I got Hateful Eight, and then Hollywood, and uh,
Glorious Bastards.
yeah, and that one I've had for a while. I rewatched that. I watched the one with her all in the suits, whatever that one's called,
Reservoir
Mr. Orange and
Dogs, bro.
Reservoir.
Yeah.
First time I'd seen it was last year.
Dude, that's a
So
great movie.
yeah,
Um Astro Zombie says the only channel I watch is Turner Classic Movies. There you go. Kubrick did okay, so there you go. No, I don't like I was saying the other day, I don't have like the member berries of like, oh, the 80s, nothing's gonna be as great as the 80s. Cause I always hope like I really love the new Dune movie. And I thought the director, he did a movie called The Arrival that I love
oh,
too.
I love The Arrival.
So I hope like there's movies that are just as good now as came out back then. But let's face it, I mean, right now there's not a lot of good cinema coming out, man. Like not.
No, there's not. But I haven't seen a lot of stuff recently either.
I tried to watch
So
oh, I didn't try. I did watch the new Batman movie. I didn't think it was terrible, but it wasn't great either. So,
I enjoyed it. It was late, and I watched it in the theater,
mm,
and the showing was at like 10:30. So it was a late night, and it was a free movie though. I had a friend who had a ticket for me.
HBO Max.
So
Yeah, yeah.
no, we went into the theater.
Oh, you went to? Do you go to
Yeah,
the Warren or do you go North Rock?
went to North Rock.
Oh, that's a great. That's like at the recliners. Yeah.
Yep, that was making it hard to stay awake.
Yeah. My
it
son
was
went and watched
it's
that
late.
movie at Batman at the theater the night I watched it on HBO Max. It came out for free. I'm like, what are you doing, kid? Like, what are you-
Yeah, I'm kind of over theaters, man.
Esther Zombie says The Northman was a pretty good movie. That's what I
That's
hear.
on that's on my list for sure.
Moromi says he's a great visual Villeneuve, I think his name is. He's a great visual director.
Villeneuve. Vallejo.
Vill- I'm not even gonna try it. I'm just gonna call him V. He's a great
There
visual
you go.
director like Ridley Scott, but Dune had pacing issues like 2049 did. I don't think it's going to be the case when the second movie comes out. I think like that's going to fix what people think are pacing issues. I
Yeah,
don't think they are pacing issues. I think it's supposed to be one giant movie watched all together. So I'm looking at right now as like the intermission.
yeah.
If
It's a
that
good way.
makes
It's
sense.
supposed to just be two, right?
For the first book. Now there's a lot of Dune books.
Right, but I mean, for this movie, it's
hmm
supposed to be two.
hmm
Okay.
So I don't know if he'll stop after the first book, but I'd like to see him do like Peter Jackson, Lord of the Rings, where he covers like the first three books.
Mhm.
That would be freaking great because then you would have Messiah, and then you would have Children of Dune, and then you would see, dude. I don't know. I mean, I haven't read. I don't go and read about movies, so I don't know if that's in the works. But it would be great to see like the first 3 books all done by him.
Yeah.
But maybe I'm wrong, Maromi. There might be pacing issues, but I'm kind of withholding judgment until the second movie. How about that? So you're gonna have some blood up on that first panel, Eric, when it's all said and done with the bite.
Yeah, so there's going to be that's what that means. And then all of this is blood swirling around her. This is a her. But
Hmm.
it's an alligator, so
Not a crocodile.
not a crocodile. And then this is going to be like a remnant of that tentacle that's floating around.
So that means there's
She,
somewhere in North America.
yes. Well, again, this is a god, so she has seen an alligator. I guess this would be a croc because alligators have the thin nose, and the crocodiles have like the triangle nose. So I don't know. All I know is I found the perfect action figure for reference
Uh-oh.
on Big Bad Toy Store. But there's two problems. One is it's $90, and two is it doesn't come out until after my deadline, so there's no no point in buying it. So, but they have great photos, so I'm using
So
those
they have
photos.
turnaround photos of the
Yeah,
action figure. Nice.
yeah, yeah,
I guess that's allowed.
yeah. I mean, I've
No.
I've already stolen those images for my layout. So yeah, that's definitely allowed. No going back now.
So you're doing 20 pages altogether?
Yep, 20 pages for this, and then back to the Battlebrick Road. That's got I think a 30 something percent done. I forget the exact number with pencils. I don't have anything. I have one page that's 100% done,
Mm.
and then a couple that are like 90, 80, 90, 95, and then the rest of them are penciled. But
I have a suggestion for the second Battlebrick Road book.
okay, what's that?
I really enjoyed Zeb's forward to the first one.
Mm-hmm.
I think you should do a forward to the second one
Okay.
where you kind of give your thoughts and what, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Yeah,
Yeah.
that would be cool.
Yeah, I can do that.
So, but yeah, like there's a lot to like here, and I can't wait. I'm with you. I can't wait for people I can't wait to talk about it. So I'm kind of waiting for like Kevin to read it so then we can discuss it. And but even then, I think all of us have backed it, Eric. Every one of us. So I'm not sure. We might have to wait until because we have to wait for Kevin to read it. Then we have to wait for Amanda and Vanessa to
Yeah.
read it, and then we can finally all discuss it.
Yeah.
So,
We're working as best as we can to get these books out.
oh,
So
I'm not trying to say that. I'm just saying that's just the nature of the beast in crowdfunding in general. You know what I mean?
yeah, I'm eager to hear what people think. So
So, I was on stream we were on Twitch, and you were talking about the design of what you call the Watcher, and I'm not going to discuss like plot of what the Watcher is. We'll just call her the Watcher, and that turned out really cool, Eric. Because I
thank you.
remember like the whole stream where like you were like conceptualizing
Mhm.
and now you see it in the book, and I don't think you shared those pages publicly, so it was the first time I got to see them. And I think like it turned out pretty well. It's
I
very
don't think that. Yeah,
sci-fi kind of
yeah. We definitely want to show that aspect of it because it is. I mean, it's a fantastical story, and being able to show that Watcher as what they are, and in the future when you see others, they won't be the same. So they're all going to have uh, unique looks.
So when I got done reading it, I was like, "There's something that this reminds me of." I couldn't think of it. Then the next day, it did. But the game, and I don't know why it gives me that feeling, but Borderlands.
Really?
I don't know why.
Huh.
Maybe because it's like at the first, they're in the dusty kind of Midwest, and like Borderlands 2 is like there's a lot of dust and grit
Yeah.
and all that. But I'm not sure why. Just it gives me Borderlands vibes, and I could not tell you why, man. Not for the life of me.
That's kind of neat. It wasn't an influence. So
No, I mean the art's nothing. They're nothing similar. It just gives me that vibe for some reason. I have no idea why, but you could see maybe because of the weapons. I don't know, dude. I don't know, but like you could see it's those guys that did because Borderlands 3 was terrible, but at Borderlands 2 they can make a Battle Brick Road video game. That'd be great.
I would let Gearbox make a Battlebird video game.
Gearbox, like that's the Metal Gear Solid guys.
No, Gearbox is the Borderlands guys.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, but they've gone all woke too, though, haven't they?
Who hasn't at this point?
Yeah, but wasn't Borderlands? I know Borderlands 3 was really bad about it, though.
I
I
don't know.
feel like
I didn't. Haven't played it. I didn't really ever get into the Borderlands games. I played them a
dude,
little bit, but I never went very deep into them.
the second one is one of my all-time favorites. Even as
I
mean, go ahead.
I have it. Dude, I have so many games.
Well, Borderlands 2 works for me because it's progression oriented, so you can put it down and like it's multiplayer, but it was like the first. You know how Call of Duty? It's like you keep your XP or whatever and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Borderlands 2 was like the beginning of that. It's like the predecessor or whatever you want to
Okay.
call it. The inspiration or whatever.
Give it a go.
But
I was looking at my Steam my game library this morning, and my youngest comes over and he sees me scrolling through. I use the GOG launcher because it consolidates all the different launchers into one. So it's GOG, Steam,
you could do that with
Ubisoft, EA.
You could do that with Steam too, though.
Yeah, you have to add games individually. This one you log in you log into your accounts and it pulls them and it keeps them updated.
Mm-hmm.
And my entire game list, and including Xbox, and it included Game Pass games too, because we have Game Pass. But between all of that, it was like 1,500 games. And my son was like, 1,500 games. It blew his mind. I was like, yeah, and we'll never get anywhere close to playing all of them.
That's a lot, yeah.
Yeah.
Moromi
but
says
Borderlands 2 is one of them.
Yeah, Moromi says the expansions for Borderlands 2 were great too. Yeah, they were great.
See, that's something like I wish I could get into that. Like I love that's my hobby there. That's where I spend my money.
Oh yeah,
and time is games. And
lots of Steam sales, he says, and that's where I get in trouble. It's like,
Humble Bundle's where I get in trouble.
What's Humble Bundle? You have to What's that?
Humble Bundle. You don't know about? Oh man, It's not as good as it used to be, but every once in a while there's still some bangers. So basically,
Humble on Steam.
Yeah. No. It's its own website.
Oh.
It's called Humble Bundle, and they have game bundles that every week or every 2 weeks. There's a bunch of different bundles that come out, and they'll be themed. It'll be maybe a publisher will do a bundle or a type of game or a genre or whatever. And there'll be these different tiers. You pay $1, you're going to get these 1 or 2 games. Pay $10 and you're going to get 5 games. Pay 12 or 25 or whatever, and you're going to get 25 games.
Is it humblebundle.com?
Yep.
All right, let's take a look while you're drawing. Let's take a look.
Because right now there's a Jurassic Park Evolution bundle. So if you go to the up top where it says bundles, click on that, and then click games. And these are the different game bundles that they currently have. So a VR bundle, an XCOM bundle. And most of the time, I don't care about them. I'm going to grab that Jurassic World one, though, that Jurassic Park Evolution, because that's like Sim City, but Jurassic Park. And it's a lot of fun, but I own the base game, but for $12, I can get all the DLC. So at the top there, it says entire 10-item bundle, 5-item bundle, one on just below the Jurassic World logo.
Pay $12.
Just above that, those little buttons right there. Right. So if you click 5, it shows you what you're going to get if you pay $5, or
Where do
not
you
$5, but
where do you redeem these at? Like
so
in
when you check,
Steam?
they give you Steam keys. Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah. A couple of times in the past, they've had a Nintendo bundle for
See,
Nintendo Switch games, and they had a PlayStation bundle as well for PS4 games.
so in the 5 bundle, you get the base game
hmm
and then
And then
4
those DLC.
expansions.
Yep.
But why would you get that? Like this has more DLC.
Yeah. So you pay what you want, and then
Okay.
the other thing about it is you can tie this. They tie these to different charities as well, so you can decide where your money goes. So you can pick a charity. You
Hmm.
can when you check out, there are sliders. You're like, what percentage do you want to go to charity? What percentage do you want to go to Humble Bundle? And
Is
what
this a
percentage do
fun
you want to go
game?
to developer? Dude, I love it.
Really?
Yeah,
Damn it. All right, I'll look at it after the stream. I'm
yeah,
gonna leave that up.
yeah,
Uh, everybody go back Battle Brick Road, and if you haven't yet, please.
yeah. Please do.
I've never talked about this. I told you, Eric. I've never talked about a book so much and never got it. No, I'm sure I've helped sell some. I would hope, but I don't have a direct referral. It's infuriating,
You gotta drop your link.
dude. I always put it in the description below. Always, it's whenever I have you on, and specifically just for you, I always do it. But
I have
one day,
looking at referrals. I have a thing where if you have 10 or more, I'm gonna give you a discount on the next campaign.
yeah, I fail at
And
that.
Mortal V, who's always in chat dropping, he's been at 9 for like months, and like, everybody just give Mortal V one more. He's on the verge
The-
of
I was
greatness.
the only thing I'll ever beat Mortal V in is in Groken. Like I'm pretty sure I beat him in Groken. But yeah, he's the Link Master Supreme, that's for sure.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, everybody go back. Like I got both the covers, and I'm getting ready to send my second book to a buddy. So unfortunately, Eric, my Roquefort cover is my reader cover, my reader copy, because yeah, so that kind of sucks. But I'm gonna send him the book, so I think he'll like it. So
Yeah.
it says I got 2. Have you decided what this is going to be yet, or are you still thinking the 100K?
I don't even know what it would. I think about taking it down. Like, I don't. What am I going to do? I'm fulfilling the book, you know.
Dude, we can make you do something ridiculous.
Oh, like a thing that but I did the mullet already.
That's true. Everybody can just feel like it's a job well done.
Yeah, it's more of a community award.
Now, are these Farrah's colors, or did you repost it
Those are
up here?
No, those are all Vinny's colors. Farrah is just on my cover.
Oh, okay. Because I thought
They're a
she had
little bit
colored
different.
pages.
Like I had him tweak colors for when we went to print.
Okay.
So
100K is a yellow brick, says Astro Zombie.
Our bricks aren't bricks, though, are they?
You know what I was thinking, Eric, is like I saw your battle brick. It had the 2 here instead of the brick.
Mm-hmm.
But what you should do is put the captain for like 2, the captain rank, because this is.
See, now I had considered that, right? And,
Mm-hmm.
and it would be like Roman numerals. But then what happens is 2 is okay. You get to 3 and 4, and it was too much. So the numbers will fit in there. I've already got them designed, so it looks pretty good.
Well, I was thinking, how do you make a lieutenant colonel insignia into a 3?
Yeah, exactly. Well, that would be second lieutenant. Then we could go. No, I guess that's first lieutenant, isn't it?
Butterbar is second. Silver is first. And then captain. But it wouldn't make sense. You'd have to have a silver there. And then for the third one, how many books are there going to be?
Just 4.
So the 4 would be lieutenant colonel.
Yeah. Unless you do Call of Duty ranking, then it would just be 2 butter bars and then 2 silver bars.
Yeah. All right, we'll go back to what you're working on. Yeah, you're getting a lot. I'm surprised. We've just been sitting here shooting the shit, and you've gotten actually between the pages, you've been flipping through quite a bit. Oh, Major, you're right. Damn it. We're veterans.
I've forgotten all of that stuff, man.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Well, it depends, because if you get into General Moromi, then it's Brigadier Major, which is the second one, Lieutenant, then General.
Be
Anyways,
my, what is it? Be my little general,
is that it?
brigadier, major, lieutenant,
Be
and then
my
general.
little
General.
I guess that does work. Is that what they
Yeah.
teach you in the army?
Yeah, we're a bunch of dummies in the infantry, at least. I mean, come on now. But I swear I was like the only guy that signed up for the infantry during an active war. Everybody
Primo.
else was assigned the infantry. I was like, I'll do it.
11 Bravo.
11 Bravo.
Mm. I wonder if Moromi is like, did he go look that up, or is he a vet? I take pride in like knowing who the vets are in CG, like Vanessa, Sierra, Leandro, myself, you, Malin,
Tucci.
Yeah, he was airborne. Yep,
I know. I wanted to be airborne, but
I was airborne.
I didn't get the.
Oh, Moromi says he was Air Force. What did he do, Moromi? You have to let me know what was your AFSC. I was Air Force as well.
I
So
didn't get
he's only
the
this.
call. You got to like put in for it in
Mhm.
basic to see if you could go to 101st, and I
I
didn't get it.
was looking the other day on the changes. So what I did is something called combat control, Eric, right? And it's changed. Like, so before, when I went in, like I went in with another job, then you go through basic, and then they pull some of us out, a few of us, and they're like, hey, go watch this video with these guys, right? And dude, you're gonna like this. So, oh, he's EW, so he was on AWACS. But like
It's raining here.
you go and watch these videos, and it's Kansas Carry On Wayward Son. That's the song that was playing, and it's like you would have thought it was friggin' Marines. I'm like, hell yeah, I'm signing up. Like, right. And then so now it was called Indoc back then, Indoctrination. But now you have to go through all the selection and all this kind of weird. It's all changed, man. It's all changed. Jim Cox says I wanted to be 34B, then go to Ranger School. Now you can go like a lot of the guys, they go that's like part of their contract is like Ranger.
Yeah,
If
they
you
didn't
want to
have
go to
that when
Ranger
I was in.
Battalion.
I did want to do Ranger. Ultimately, I'm glad I didn't because I got to be a comic book artist instead.
True.
But yeah, I mean that was the ideal for me, was like, yeah, I'll be, because that was the thing, you had to go to airborne school before you could go to Ranger School. So I tried, and I could have still applied while I was in my unit. I went to Fort Drum. I was in the 10th Mountain. I still could have applied, but
I don't know if
ended up.
Moromi, you have to. Were you on AWACS? You'll have to let us know, Moromi. I don't know. Like maybe you weren't, maybe, but I know some EW guys that were on AWACS. So those things, they fly over where we live because they're at Tinker, Eric, and they're freaking loud.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes Jim
Live
never
pretty
did
close to
join.
the Air Force Base.
If I didn't join the Air Force, I would have joined the friggin' Marines.
I don't know. It was always Army for me. I didn't really consider the other ones.
Oh, 10th Mountain. So there you go. That's weren't you 10th Mountain, Eric? Or no?
Yeah.
Yeah, you were.
I would have been in Afghanistan in 2006, but I went home instead. Delta Company 132 was where I would have been had I not been discharged.
There you
medically discharged, honorably medically discharged. I wasn't a ne'er-do-well. I wasn't a what do you call them? Malingerer.
So those guys are up in New York, and they're also down in Louisiana.
Mm-hmm.
I know that because I've served with a couple of guys that were 10th Mountain. So Fort Drum up in New York.
Yep, Fort Drum in Watertown, right outside of Watertown, New York.
Not too far away from West Point.
Is it not? I don't know.
All
I know is their airport was in Syracuse. It was like an hour drive away.
Yeah, I mean, well,
hour or two, something like that.
When I say not too far, I mean like in the same state. Like, of course, Fort Drum is upstate, right?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I was in 10th Mountain, Delta Company 132, CSAR, case fac. Yeah, so, uh, well, we were definitely there at the same time. I think I was there at the same time as, I think Edwin Boyette was there at the same time. And I think your boy Zach was in the 10th Mountain in 2006 as well. So,
Yeah, I keep forgetting Zach was Marines and Army. That's right.
yeah,
Because I always consider him just a crown eater, but that was the second stint. Jim Cox says, I was 40 pounds overweight in 1985, and they didn't go by body mass index. They were strictly by height weight chart. Sergeant Grimes even lied about my height to try to get me in. 1985. I was still in elementary school, Jim Cox.
it's one.
And Eric, I think you're like 1 year behind me, so we were babies
Yeah,
back then. So we got Moromi to add to the veteran pile. So there
sure
we
do.
go. My second Afghan was 2006. Just remember the 10th tags were everywhere.
Yeah, so you probably would have been, let's see, where did my Korengal Valley was probably, that's where my guys were, I believe.
Bro, they went through hell, bro.
Yeah, they did.
Went through hell.
I
I
think
was
that's where
out.
they were. I might
I
have
was
that mixed up.
I was out by then, but I was talking to some dudes that went through Korengal, dude, and it was like the stories are here, like F.
My one of my we were in a what did they call it? Not a temporary platoon, but like we were in temporary barracks, and then they had built all of these metal buildings just to have barracks for, or I forget all the terminology. The headquarters for our company, whatever that's called,
CQ.
CP, CQ.
CQ.
Thank you, CQ. And there were two buildings. There'd be CQ, and then there'd be the armory, and those were all temporary buildings. And even our barracks were temporary. We were staying in barracks of a company that was in Iraq, and we were in their room, so we didn't even have wall lockers or anything. But so there was a lot of moving around. Maybe this is just the way the Army was. I did it for 2 years before my medical discharge. But one of my platoon sergeants who did go over, he was posthumously awarded the Medal of Honor.
Whoa!
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah. So he died returning to battle for to get him out, and he took fatal injuries. But
Yeah, I know a guy that got.
Sergeant Monty.
Yeah, I served with somebody who I got out. He stayed in, and yeah, he bid in Afghanistan, but he got the Medal of Honor.
That's crazy.
So, yeah.
The fun thing is, I've said this before, but in basic training, the CO of my company, 254, Charlie Company? Yeah, Charlie Company 254, basic training, Fort Benning. The CO was Captain Hickenbottom.
Hickenbottom. Nice.
His I don't remember his first name, but his brother's full name is Sean Michael Hickenbottom, otherwise known as the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels.
Oh, there you go.
My CO in basic training was Shawn Michaels' brother. So that was pretty rad. It wasn't like you're not supposed to. It was the rumor going around, but it was true. Like, it was him. I investigated it after I got out of basic, and I looked it up. I was like, oh dang, it's Hickenbottoms. Yeah, that's his last name. Okay, yeah, he's now a colonel. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah.
So I got a kind of not similar, but I got a story when I was over in the Middle East, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I worked with a lot of Army guys, right? So, but I was with the 82nd, and then there was a colonel walking around. Now, like, I was raised by my dad. My mom left. I had no contact with her whatsoever. But this colonel from the 82nd walks up to me, and he sees my name. He's like, "Die," he's like, I know some dies, and it was my fucking mom's brother, my uncle Richardson. I was like, holy shit,
Ooh.
like, that was weird. So yeah, he was telling me stories about how he used to go to Kentucky, West Virginia games with my dad and all that. So there you go. Skip Edwards in the chat. What is up? And we got Dave Brink in here. So he says, "Good morning, everybody." It's good morning for us too. I don't know how long you want to go, Eric. It's up to you.
I'll probably need to wrap it up here soon.
Sure.
It's
Uh,
been a long day, and I got more drawing to do. It's better to do that refreshed than.
for sure. You
But
got
hey, I
quite a
mean,
bit done.
I did get quite a bit done. Yeah, feeling pretty good about it.
You want to show a few other pages? What?
Sure. Let me save this and flip through it. I'll do it. I'll do it this way here. Zoom in. So
You worked on the
some,
second page right there.
the
You
second
worked
page
on that a
here,
little bit.
third and fourth pages, or actually it's there. Oops, I accidentally opened it. They are numbered here, so that's one. I worked on pages 3, 4, and 5 on the stream, and then 6, 7. That alligator thing there, and then 8, 9. And then these two.
Yeah. So you. I like how you bounce around. That's probably what I would do. I think if I was an artist, I do
It's
the
my
kind of.
ADD. I can't. You know. So
We got a cool. Eric can draw. Hashtag more than just the letter guy.
yeah, you should check out Battlebrick Road.
Battlebrook Road, you say?
Battlebrick Road. That's the book I drew.
Everybody, I'm sure everybody's backed. Dude, they can't come in my channel by now and not have backed Battlebrook Road. I don't think that can't be possible. But if you haven't, the link is in the description below. And while you're there backing Battlebrook Road, go to the second link in the description below and go sign up for Groken 2.
In 2.
You know, I'm. I thought I was so happy with Groken 2 because I got like my book, but then Kenneth sent me comps, and I felt like a real boy.
See, I don't get comps of that book because I didn't letter it, and feel sad.
Oh,
He did a great job though. He could do everything.
dude, it was amazing. Like, it was so. I was telling the guys like, it's so hard to sit there because I knew how good it was the whole time, right? I
Yeah.
knew how good it was because I saw it. I was going step by step. I saw the line art, So the whole time I knew how good it was, and like I was telling people, but you can't tell them I've seen it. It's that good. So I'm just like, it's good, it's good, it's good. So I was so happy when it came out and the
Yeah.
reaction it got. So Kenneth is freaking amazing.
Yeah.
Eric,
June
you're
15th.
amazing.
Thank you.
So there's a lot of amazing people in Comicsgate, I would say.
I don't want to give away too much. Eddie's asleep, but he sent me a very kind DM after because he received his book. Eddie Winkler did, and he said that basically like he was raving about my artwork, and
Yeah.
I'm as somebody who frets over every line that I put down. It's good that it feels like mission accomplished. So yeah,
Dude, it's really good.
I'm
And
glad people are happy.
yeah. And I mean, I don't want to, like I go to like your layouts to me, I just, it's not boring at
Mm-hmm.
all. There's no like, yeah, let's face it, with CG, we have a lot of first time creators. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
you have a lot of people that don't understand how you need to pull in and or zoom in and pull out and change angles and set up page turns and not, and when you have a really impactful maybe panel, you have to build to that, and all that, and it was great, man. Like, I can't recommend it enough. So yeah,
Okay.
everybody, man, you guys are all stepping up. And I was talking about this too, Eric. I feel like for a while in CG, people were
Uh-huh.
learning how to make books, learning how to fulfill, learning how to get to print, learning how to pre-press, learning how to contact Eric Weathers to get their letters done. It's a giant learning experience. But
DMs are always
now,
open.
right. So yeah, exactly. But for the last year, the the quality of the books has gone up dramatically. It seems to me. I don't know how you feel, but
They
you see a
have. I
lot.
mean,
Okay.
I'm just seeing that just on from my end, from the lettering perspective. There's so many
Hmm.
books that the artwork is just so much better than what it was 3, 4, however long ago, 3 years ago. I've got to see some great look at books, as we all have for the books you've backed. But I'm seeing stuff that you guys haven't seen yet,
For
and
sure.
it's great to see everybody's growth.
I would
And
say though it's more than just art. It's pacing. It's
sure,
layouts. Every
yeah,
across the board. I mean, it's just like I remember when I first started backing books and I'd get stinkers. You know what I mean? And I
hmm
don't ever call these stinkers out on stream. But you get them. You'd get them, and you'd be like, "Oh, okay." You're never really disappointed, but you're kind of like, "Okay, this one's going in the back of the box or whatever."
yeah,
But that does. I mean, the books now we're getting like we did our ranking, and they're all books that come out recently.
hmm
And I thought, well, that's like that can't be right because maybe we're just like looking at their new and shiny things, but no, I just think people are stepping up their game, man. That's what I think it is.
yeah. And the best part about that is everybody's around to see it, and talk about it and experience it together. It's
Hmm.
not like it was before CG, where it's just reviews that you would read, and just you're just talking with, maybe with your friends in real life. But like this is like the interaction between fan and creator, and uh, you know customer and artist, and all of that. It's really cool to be a part of that, and just seeing the growth. And like right now, like lately, there have been more new people. You start seeing new people in chat, different
Hmm.
chats. Like Mike's seeing them, I'm seeing them, Rob's seeing them. Like we're on a good trajectory here, I think. So
I hope so. We'll see.
yeah,
We're gonna wrap it up though. It's
yep.
122. So
I
thanks
gotta go to
coming
sleep.
on, Eric. I wish we would have
Yeah,
got you a backer, but I think we're all backers already here
yeah.
over
You
here.
got, you
So
already have. Yeah. Thank you all for backing the book. Your books are coming soon. Like I said, we've got another round of things going out this weekend. You should be getting. Check your mail, your inboxes. We'll start. We're gonna update everybody's order with their tracking numbers, so you'll know when your books are shipped, and you'll be able to see where they're at.
and we will talk to. I'll be back Saturday. Original art. We're doing an original art stream, Eric. We're all going to talk about what original art pieces we have gotten from CG, and we're going to look at them.
Oh,
So yeah, that's going to be fun. I got one from you. So
yeah.
that's what we're doing Saturday. We will talk to you guys then, or I
I see you
will.
guys.